Welcome to Lost Culture, your one-stop destination for everything pop culture. My name is Aston, and today we're going to do a review and a recap for the Get Down episode 5. Alright, let's get into this episode. So we start off with Francisco. He's in the same spot that we left off at. He's in his little, I don't know what to call it, bar, pub. He's still in there, and we see him, Maylene. We see Moreno's in there. We see Gabriella, Yolanda. We see everybody's in there. He's still struggling, trying to come up with a beat. And then, it got to the point where Francisco actually walked in and told him, look, I gave you 40,000 and you came here with nothing, so it looks about to get bad. And at that moment, we see Francisco's brother actually walk in. And from there, we see Francisco put a lot of information out out that a lot of people didn't know. We didn't know that Maylene's dad was a convict. He got in a car accident, almost killed a guy and his children. Then we see that Maylene's father also has 2 children left in Puerto Rico that he's never taken care of or even worried about. He just got 2 girls pregnant and just left, came to New York, and started doing his whole I don't know, I think he said cocaine and dancing and whatnot. So he got into this big bender, got in an accident, and he went to prison for it. We don't know how long he actually did, but the mom knew about it, Francisco knew about it, and that was really it. We see Maylene start to cry, and then we see Moreno. He interrupts. He lets them know look, we've all got sins. We all done bad things. We're all trying to make it up. And that's when he comes up with the idea of mixing church music in with disco, with Latin music. He does all this all on the fly real quick, and he comes up with a pretty good song. And we see once everybody starts dancing, we see him once he put everything together. We see he's envisioning putting the church choir involved with it, and everything it turns out well. And that's really all we see for Francisco this episode. I'm trying to think about that's all we really see for Francisco this episode. And then we move on to there's no Big Ann, there's no Cadillac this episode. So I'm just gonna move on to to Dizzy. Dizzy has a little bit bigger part. We see Dizzy when everything's going down inside the Tasha Lynn's new little mansion at Bando. He helps Ra-Ra when Ra-Ra couldn't catch the beat. Ra-Ra's was thinking, Ra-Ra's rapping style was a little bit faster than they were actually going at. So he brings up the idea of maybe they should speed up his beat. They should speed up his beat so that they can actually fit Ra-Ra in. Also, Dizzy has another little comedic little instance. We're trying to figure out what everybody's going to do. They're calling everybody different instruments. And we see Dizzy turn around well, I'm partial to the piccolo flute. So we see that. And that's all really Dizzy does this episode. Moving on to Ra-Ra, we see Ra-Ra actually comes up with the idea to make each individual rap throughout the show. So not each character, but Boo Boo gets a verse, Dizzy gets a verse, we see Ra-Ra gets a verse, Ezekiel gets a verse. His idea is to have Ezekiel write everybody verse. He says, I can flow if someone writes it for me. I might not be able to write it myself, but I can actually flow if somebody writes it for me. So we see that happening. And it looks like Shao's not really going for it at first. Well, he isn't going for it at first or at all. So with that going on, and then after they actually convince Shao to do it, we see him and Shao kind of get into it once Shao tells him look, man, we can't use you since you keep stuttering and that you really can't rap. And you see him gets upset. He actually gets in Shao's face look, I've been here before you. All this is my idea. So we see how that turns out. We see he gets upset. We see everybody calms down once Dizzy comes up with the new advice to get everything figured out. Moving on to Boo Boo. Boo Boo's dancing. He's rapping. He's doing what he's supposed to do. He's making jokes that Shaw really like. They're trying to find out a way to not really curse. I don't understand why they can't curse, but you're trying to figure out a way to get around cursing. And when Boo was making jokes about it, like Shao, like, look, man, you're not really helping. Can you please like stop it? So that happens, and that's really it for Boo Boo. I'm gonna move over to Maylene. Maylene, her part, she's really been on the same part for the last 2 episodes. She's just singing. She's we do see one part where her and Ezekiel like on the side of the house. They're on the fire escape. They're talking about, hey, our goals are actually coming together. You need to make it out so that we can be together when I make it out. So we see all that happens. We see that she has a meeting with, I forgot Leslie, I forgot her last name. She's basically a A&R that picks hit music. Well, she thinks it's hits. She ships them out to the DJs, and the DJs end up playing those songs, which makes them in turn makes them a hit. So we see that happening. She's excited about it, and I don't really know what's going to happen with this. Well, we only got one episode left, so it has to work. I'm going to assume it has to work because they only got one episode left. So it's definitely going to work. It's definitely going to work. We know like this. A lot of people like the music we see when she's back at the bando with Shaolin and everybody. We see all the boys like the music. We see Dizzy goes out on his like, I don't know how his hippie talk, how he talks. You know, Dizzy's a little bit out there, so we see how he reacts to it, how he's talking to it, about how the aliens love this music and everything. Everybody's just looking at him laughing and everything. So we see it's obviously a hit amongst the younger crowd. The issue is actually getting it into the hands of the DJ, which isn't really an issue because they already discussed how the plan of action is for that. We see they're going to give it to the Leslie lady. They're going to set up the meeting with the Leslie lady, and they're going to have her talk to her and play the song with her, make sure everything works. And that's really how we left Maylene. And now we're on Ezekiel. It's crazy because this episode really, it was an hour long, but it doesn't seem much happened in this hour. Like, this episode could have easily been a lot shorter. Like, it was basically just a follow-up to episode 4. Everything that happened in episode 4 basically just carried on to episode 5. So this is probably going to be a really short episode. Like, I'm already on Ezekiel, and it's not even been 8 minutes yet. So, Ezekiel, we see he went back to the intern place, and he's basically trying to get his job back. He basically told him, look, I'm not going to kiss your ass. I'm going to give you a chance to use me as your ghetto mascot so that you can get what you need out of me. Like, you're going to use me for in turn. I'm going to get like what I need. We're going to use each other just so we can like basically just build this alliance. So you get what you want and I get what I need at the same time. And we see he actually goes for it. He tells him like, look, you're invited to my house and everything. You got to make that good impression there. And we see Ezekiel is, even though he's jumping into this internship, you see he's actually being on. I'm assuming he's been going there because they're always saying that Ezekiel doesn't have a time. Like, and we see Ezekiel's there for a couple minutes. He'll write a verse. He's gone again. He's back writing another verse. So that also could be due to like the poor editing. So there's editing in this video that I really didn't like. We see, what can I say? Like, there's just poor editing going on in this one. I forgot everything happened in this one. So we see like there's scenes when Francisco's getting ready to threaten him, then they'll just cut over to the boys when they're in Big Herc's little get down, wherever they want to call it. When they're over there, I forgot that even happened. Where Ezekiel does the freestyle verse. They have to prove their innocence through a freestyle verse. We see Shaolin runs up on the cassette king, rips his jacket open, cassette flies out. And that's how they prove that they're innocent. And then they make their way to Grandmaster, and Grandmaster basically talks to Shaolin and lets him know, like, look, I understand you're into other stuff besides music. I don't really care what it is, but this whole situation that occurred would have never happened if you were where you're supposed to be. You're the leader of the Fantastic Four plus one, or the Get Down Brothers, whatever they're going by now. And if you're going to be the leader, the conductor, the DJ, you need to be there to ensure that everything's going right, everything's working out, and you shouldn't be all over the place, letting your team just run wild and do what they want. Like this whole situation could have been avoided if you would have just been where you were supposed to be at. And we see Shao does take it to heart. 'Cause after that, we see Shao actually sticking with the group closer, to spending more time together. They're he's actually starting to trust them. Like when all four of them. So when Dizzy, Ra Ra, Boo Boo, and Ezekiel all agree, like, yeah, we should all have a rapping verse. We see, even though he's hesitant, he hears like Grandmaster Flash voice in his head, like, yeah, I'll I'll go with this. I think I missed on Boo Boo when Boo Boo was rapping. We see Boo Boo can actually sing. I don't know how much they're actually going to use that, because actually he was really good. We see they had him on the Michael Jackson beat, so everybody had their own like theme and their own beat to work out, like to do their verses to. And we see Boo Boo, it breaks down, starts singing. He feel like he messed up, but everybody like, no, you did great. And I want to know how they're actually going to use that, incorporate that into their live show, into their battle they have going on in a couple weeks, or in 2 weeks, well, next episode. So yeah, but back to Ezekiel, we see Ezekiel is making all like the moves that he needs to make sure that he's not only good with the music business, but he's good outside in the corporate era. And I like to see that he's growing up. He's actually making these moves. He's thinking about both, not only for him, but he's thinking about that so he can actually be with the girl that he wants to be with, which is crazy. But yeah, what else do we need to see? I called it. Moreno actually made all three girls. He didn't make them, but he told the three girls that they should just be one group. On the press tape, it still said Maylene, but as far as like singing, he said that the girl should be her background singers. Like I kind of called that last week. I figured he was going to use them since he heard them all harmonizing together. So once he heard that, I feel like a no brainer, and that's what's happening with Maylene. Like her music's popping off now, and we see they actually got to use the church. Their dad, like he's cool with the Jews, but he's highly against like homosexual activity. I mean, it is the '70s, so that's probably like normal for back then. That's normal for back then. But the big thing is on this episode, I forgot which one was it. Dizzy. I think Dizzy actually discovers that Napoleon's been hiding out on the side of Shaolin's building. So all we hear is what we find we keep, and that's how the episode ends. Basically, I know Shaolin was hired to turn in Napoleon. I don't know if he's actually going to turn him in or not, but we'll find out next episode. And that's really all we have for the episode. It was an okay episode. Like I feel like this show has been going. Once we hit like episode 3, I feel like this show has been going downhill. Like the editing's been getting sloppy. Like this episode and episode 4 could actually honestly just been one episode in my personal opinion. But that's just me. So that's my grapes about it, and that's what I have for this episode. Also, the breakdown move of the week. I had to go to Boo Boo when he started singing and everything, breakdancing and singing at the same time. I really like that. So for that, I want to give it the beat down, the get down move of the week will go to Boo Boo. So thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe, comment if you think I missed something, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram at lost_culture. Follow me on Instagram at Saint_Aston, and stay lost.